Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Numerology podcast. I'm especially excited today because we're talking about one of my favorite things, which is numerology, with one of my favorite people, Valérie Demont. And Valerie is an intuitive visionary. She's a healer for spiritual entrepreneurs and a mentor for conscious business. She is also the host of the Green Heart Business podcast. So, Valerie, I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you very much for having me.
I have been asking you for a while to come on the podcast, but you've been hesitant because English isn't your first language. Your first
Absolutely.
language is French, right?
Yes. I'm a European. I live in Switzerland, the French part of Switzerland. And Switzerland is a very small country, almost 9 million people. It's very small
Very
compared to the
small, yes.
United States. And the French part is something like 2 millions of people. So it's very small. Yes.
Very small. Yeah.
And like you, I live near the mountain. 30 minutes, I can enjoy the snow and the beautiful view and energy.
Yeah, it's interesting because I notice a lot of the pictures that we post look very similar. Like though
Yeah.
you just posted one where the snow and the mountains, and it's like, wait a second, that looks like just outside my door.
Yes. Well, it's actually, I'm not exactly at the mountain, but near the mountain,
Near the
but
mountain.
I live near a lake. So it's really good as well.
Well, let's jump right into the numerology.
Yeah.
So we know that 2025 is a 9 year. And for those of you new to numerology, you get that by adding the digits of the year together. So 2 + 2 + 5 = 9. So I'm excited to talk with you to find out a little bit more about the energy of a 9 year and really how we might work with that best.
Yes, of course. So, to be short, actually, the nine is the end of a cycle because it's the last number. And at the end of this cycle, we make a point. Where are we? Are we satisfied? What do we have to improve? What do we have to let go? And once we are here, we can, it's almost like you do your SWOT analysis, something like that. And then we can open to new ideas, new way of doing things, all the new things. And because we are open, new things will come, new approach, it's new people. And for me, as you know, it means it's opening worldwide. But it's part as well of the nine to be open your consciousness, awareness, sensitivity, heart, open to people, be concerned by people, because for me the nine is very people oriented, community oriented. It's more about for me, the nine is built from, but for everyone actually, it's based on three, multiple by three, so it's 3 3 3. But the first three is creativity, having fun, inner child, communication, networking, and so on. But it's self-oriented. And then we have 2 3, which is the six, which is the second part. And of these three, it's not only me, but me with others and my family, which can be a family. But if you are a businessman or an entrepreneur or businesswoman, it can be your team or your customers. Or And the nine, for me, it's really macro, almost mundo, because it's larger than just our business and what it's doing, or just me and my family. It goes further and to this expansion. And I think in the 9 years, we are concerned by what will happen to people worldwide. So
Yeah.
it's something like collective consciousness and not collective unconsciousness. So in a 9 year, it's something like, yes, have your conscious open and open to new culture, and learn from all those new stuff that are coming. So for this, you have to be curious, open, and feel very stable inside.
Yeah. And I think we see that here with clearly the politics in America right now, which affects the world and the reminder that we all are in this together. This
Yes.
just isn't affecting the people of the states. It's
No, but
affecting everybody.
here as well, a lot of the money for, well, I'm not in, big economics, but a lot of the money of Switzerland is invested in the United States. So, and a lot of industries, companies are affected by the exchange and the change rates because we don't have euro currency. We have our own money, our own currency. So the rate changes is really affected how we trade stuff and how we do business. And we see when something happens to the United States or China or, Russia or big countries affected the world. So our way of living and doing business, doing money, and the way we live.
Yeah. So clearly we're seeing that the whole world affected politically, but also since we've had this shift of Pluto into Aquarius at the end of last year, we are seeing this collective consciousness shift right now. So
Absolutely.
one thing clearly affects the other. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it really is a time of big change in this 9 year. So how for those of us that have businesses, how can we work with this in our business?
Yeah. So first of all, I always talk only about the positive sides of numbers or things because I'm very optimistic. But we have to be conscious that numbers have their shadows. So it's exactly the negative part of what I've said before. But doing business in a 9 year is take the time to let go what doesn't serve your business anymore. So last year and the previous one, and we know that last year was so hard for everybody, it shows us what keeps on working or what doesn't work anymore. We have insights, so we have just to go back in our mind, analyze a little bit those signs and take action about that. What doesn't serve us anymore? It could be offers or customers or pricing or maybe it's just the way we do things doesn't the way we offer the way we are present. For example, the way we have relationship with our customer maybe doesn't work anymore. The way we talk to them, or maybe with our employees, or so just take the time to make a pause, have a break, and be conscious about that. What doesn't serve you anymore? And especially now with this Pluto in Aquarius and the North Node and all the old stuff we have to work on, we are really called to embrace spirituality. So to really be clear of what is serving us and what doesn't serve us anymore. And doing that will open some space to new things to come. But maybe you are a little bit anxious, because we were raised, to perform, to do, with the idea that the more I do, the more I will thrive. But it's not the case anymore. And in spiritual business or conscious business, we know that, but we don't know how to do another way. So we have to have this break, go back inside, feel what makes us trust the universe or our life, or where is our faith. Go back to our strengths, what makes us stronger, unique, and we will find new foundations.
Yeah, and I think of times of change like this with this uncertainty, our default is to scarcity and lack, and we're
Absolutely.
human. I think that's where we go.
We are
And
human, and that's why we met.
yes,
you know,
exactly.
because I was like that. And I'm still struggling with anxiety and lack, and because I was raised like that. But today it doesn't serve me anymore. So we have to release those old stuff that are inherited from our past, from our, for me, it's coming from my mother, father, who were entrepreneurs as well. So it's good because they helped me to be the one I'm here today and what I'm doing. And I had a prosperous company and so on. But today it doesn't work like that anymore. And life keep on showing me, go back in your inner truth, find the consciousness, the foundation, the roots. What are those roots, and how can they support me? And from this basis, we can open. But when we are in fears and facing fears and shadows and all those stuff, we cannot open. It's normal.
Yeah, it is normal. And I'm often amazed, not really, but I think it's super cool. Last year, 2024 was an 8 year, and typically an 8 year is about abundance, specifically material abundance. And so
Absolutely.
quite a few of my clients were like, Renee, where's the material abundance? This has not been one of my best years ever. But we have to keep in mind that as we're talking about rethinking here, that often our ways of business and money coming in dry up to get us to shift. If life was great and we had money coming in all the time as an entrepreneur, I don't know if we'd be changing anything in this 9 year. But if when it dries up, we take a look at what is working and what isn't working. And which I think a lot of people are doing right now as we move into this 9 year.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And it was the same for me. If I go back on my previous 8 year, because I'm always, aligned with the universal numbers. So I'm in a 9 year as well. Last year I was in an 8 one, and the previous 8 year, it was and 9 year was the best income I ever had. So it was such an amount of money coming, and I had to do nothing. It's just the results of what I have done the 8 and 9 years previously. So, and I expected that, but it was not my path. So I have to develop all this spirituality. It's easy to say that today, but if you remember 6 months ago, last summer, yes, I was really suffering and doubting, and yes, now it's more easier and inside myself, and I found stability and new foundations and roots, and so I'm confident. And so I really encourage and invite people to go inside, feel the roots, go back to your SWOT analysis, personal SWOT analysis, find your strengths, talents, innate talent as well, because your gifts and where you shine. So maybe do some personal branding analysis or astrology or human design or other, even numerology. Find where you are talented and use that to deepen your faith in yourself and the life, and use those gifts. And this year is perfect for that, to open to new way of, or new world, new people, new. But it's for me, it's more a year of preparation, test, uh, yeah, test, envision, vision. Great year for visioning, number 9. Yes. And project yourself in the future. Maybe do something like a future life progression. It's my tool. But there are some other people practicing that and using this tool. So find the best person for you. And yes, envision, test. Yeah, be
Yeah.
open, curious, and no expectations. No, really, really, no more expectations and pressure. And because it's really the old version of you or us or me to do, and really do stuff with this new person inside yourself.
Yeah.
Mine is named my spiritual version, doing things, but find your own way. And I have one of my client, she finds this new person, and she's Baloo in the jungle. I don't know how to say it in English. Just, the Jungle Book with,
Oh, yeah, yeah. The
from
Jungle Book.
Disney. Yeah, she's Baloo, and she say, "I'm Baloo," and so it's herself, the true her doing something. So find this person, test, find new way, imagine the plan, meet people, talk about it, do something for the highest good of everyone. Prepare for the number 9. So
Yes.
for 2026.
Well, and you have said on here it's about being open,
Totally.
open, open to,
Open.
and I love what you've said about no expectations, because that's where we get tripped up sometimes. We
Absolutely.
expect it to look like this. We expect to have this many clients, or this many people are going to listen to the podcast or whatever. And that is not how life works.
No,
So, and
and
then we're missing the magic too, Valerie. We miss the magic if we are expecting it to look a certain way and it doesn't look like that.
no, if you expect things realizing in a certain way, or some results, it cuts all the magic. So you're in an ego trip. So ego doesn't serve us anymore. It's useful to take action, but we can do some, collaboration. And for me, it's a new way of collective intelligence, a collaboration between the mind, ego, heart, and body. And we have to give a bigger part in the heart, which receive intuition,
Yeah.
and intuition is the messenger of our soul. So let's open it, receive through our emotions and our body. If it's not really clear, we know when it feels right or sounds right, or, we have goosebump or other stuff. Listen to this, it's the right path. And then use your mind to and ego to take action and your right place.
Now, you mentioned future life progression, and I know that that is one of your things. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure what it is. So, could you explain it to us a little bit?
Yes, of course. Um, it's in hypnosis. And therapy, usually you go into the past, so it's called regression. And here you go to the future. And I use it because I love the future really. And so I was really cold with this technique. And um, so you're in a relaxation mode, deep relaxation. And you go, I guide you to go in 5 or 10 years. And then you will see or hear or feel stuff because not everybody sees, the life. You will see how you can see how your company is or your life or how you what you have done between those 5 years. And so what it gives you. So sometimes when people are really used to meditate and visualize and so on, people doing this, who have been doing this for something like 10 years or something like that, they see, the plan I have to do and all the steps. But most part of the time, it's not really clear, but they know deep inside them, they can feel how they are and what they have done and what they come back actually with a lot of faith, trust, and really they are confident that they can where they have to go and what they have to do. And this shifts completely the chemistry of your body and cells and mind and, all those neuronal paths and stuff. Now they know once you're back and with this confidence, they know how your body, mind, and way of doing know that it's possible. Because when you come back, it's such a strong feeling. It's almost like when you wake up in the morning and you have such a intense dream, so you can feel it in your body, and it's really difficult to come back and to start your day because you still have the feeling it's here. So this part of you is always accessible and already here today, even if it's in 5 days, because in the quantum field, there is no time. So it
Yes.
helped to, connect with the version of yourself that is complete, satisfied, at her full potential. And it's very exciting to build your company or your business, because that's what I'm doing, from this perspective and not from this perspective today that is anxious and Trump and all other stuff and anxiety and so on. It's no more here.
Yeah, and that makes such sense because having that feeling and knowing on every cell of your body where you're going to be in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it may be, that alleviates all of that uncertainty and scarcity and fear and what's happening. And we don't want to live there. We don't want to be in that energy. We
No.
want to live in the trust and the faith. And I know things are going to be like this.
Yes. So then when you're back from the future, you have to start your steps with this confidence
Yes.
and, as if you are this person. But you are already this person because you have lived this life in the future. In the, it's something like 1 hour in your future. So you feel it in your bones, and I guide you to find your answers. What I have to precise or highlight is that it's an unconscious practice. So your unconscious can not allow you to receive the information. So if you don't have to get the information, you will not receive it. But maybe next week or in 2 years, you will know it. So it shows only you what you have to know today.
Ah. Yeah, very similar to readings I do, where people want to know, what's happening in the future, and the guides don't give the information because
No.
you're not meant to know the information yet. Mhm.
No, and and I think it's the same for you when you know. So okay, you have deep confidence and trust, and you feel more powerful to act, but you start putting expectations,
Yep,
and it blocks
it blocks.
the
Yep.
support of the universe or life or whatever you call it.
So can you that's thank you so much for explaining that. I feel like I know exactly what it is now, and I'm totally coming for a session to do this because it
Yeah,
sounds
feel free.
magical.
Yeah.
Can you explain to all of us how you use numerology in your everyday business to business,
Yes.
everyday
Yes.
practice and what that
So,
looks like?
yeah, I'm into numerology from 2029. No, 2019, 29. Sure, sorry, I'm not back. So, so it's been 5 years since I'm using it. Yes, almost daily, depending on the weeks. But actually, I use numerology first of all to set up my workshop and find the right date because I use in my workshop a lot of future life progression. So people have to be open. So I use number nine. I choose a 9 day to always 9 day. And if I can, a 9 month as well. So
Ah,
9 and 9. So except this year, which will be the whole year future life progression because it's the year to do that. So that I'm sure that the collective that I will receive, because I do that in workshops as well, so that the people that are coming are really open. And so I put all the the luck and the universe and the energy in this room and to do that. I use number 3 to do my newsletters. Um, Actually, I used to use number 3 because, yes, what I wanted with this number 3 is, stop. I wanted to put some joy in my newsletter and not this pressure. You have to communicate. You have to, not for the newsletter, but for the social network, feed the algorithm, and that's the way you have to do. So you have as well to put those stuff in your newsletter, and it's so much pressure. And the heart is in values and love and joy, and it was not playful anymore. So I doesn't want it anymore to work this way. So I starting using number 3 to send my newsletter. So
well,
each 9 day, which is lighter than each week, and
yeah. And I think what I love about how you use numerology is that we're moving into this more of the spiritual time. That's where we're going. So, using numerology, the dates, and to have our workshops, to send our newsletters, all of that is, and using astrology, different astrology things, the new
yes,
moon, to
absolutely,
launch new
and
things. And
yes.
that is where we're going.
And
And,
oh, sorry, go
oh,
on.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, it's not another way because I had this talk with a person I met on Substack, and she told me, "Oh, mais, it's another way of planning things, and I feel like I'm in a box." No, it's not. It's not this way of seeing how it works. Feel the energy of the number 3. What does it mean? Communicate, joy, creativity, having fun, meet people, network, and a pyramid is a 3 as well. A triangle is a 3, so open to the sky, receiving information and setting down to the foundation, and then So when I use the number 3 to create my newsletter, I ask the guides and I pull cards. And even if I know that I have a message to communicate, because I'm coming from marketing and digital communication, so I have this old way of doing calming. I do a mix of all, and I use the card that I have pulled to nourish and the energy of the 3, so that there is another energy in what I'm sending or in writing. And what else? Maybe number 4, because a lot of people doesn't love to do their administration and follow up with customers and invoices and so on. But 4 is about structure, and so it's a square, so it's all rigid, more or less, depending the size of the square. But it gives the energy to to manage stuff and do those things. And yes, it's really, there is more flow when I do my invoices. And for me, it's not about following up with my customers, because I really, really love them. So, and I love to communicate. So, but it's really this structure. So the number 4 is as well a good day or month or year to set up boundaries, revisit way of doing things, and find if it's still okay or not, because it gives the grounding and rooting for the next steps. So it's almost like you you evaluate your house project if the building is really stable and can keep going.
Yeah. What about 5? I think we've talked before about your love of 5.
I really ate number 5 actually each day. I'm very conscious about how I feel each day when I'm working. I really, really love working, and I prefer working than doing and householding and all those stuff. And each time I don't feel really good, or I feel a little anxious, or have the feeling that I have to do, but I have no results, and I'm frustrated, and I start doing something. Oops, I start doing something instead of doing what I have to or what I should, or and from time to time I take a breath deeply, and then something comes in. Oh, maybe we are in a number 5. And each time we are in a number 5. So I don't want to create, beliefs and stuck energy in blocks in this number 5, but so I always try to be in the flow and feel it. But each time something is blocking, it's a number 5 for me. So I go outside, I connect to nature, I found my rhythm for the day. Maybe I go to the swimming pool because I swim a lot, and it helps me to clear my mind, go back in my body, the same as the forest. And then, okay, when I come back, I'm ready to work. So it's really, for me, the number 5 is really, and it's really connect to what is the nature part of yourself, what makes you a human, alive and connected to nature and animals, or, where is the vitality, and it's in your body. And so it's
Yeah.
on number 5, you have to feel what your body needs and listen to this. And I have a lot of customers that have number 5 in the numerology, and last year, of course, because of this number 8 and spirituality and preparation for this one, they felt that the rhythm of their company, the stage where it is, the role they have, they are all CEOs. So I work with SMEs with something like maximum 10 people inside. So I work usually with the founder, and something new appeared in their life, and the way they were doing doesn't suit anymore. They didn't find their rhythm. They didn't want the role, and they have to go back to what means being alive, being a human, being connected to their own cycle, way of doing, rhythm. And yes, it was
Yeah.
really, really great to work with them because each time they found a new way of doing at their own rhythm, which is, it can be based on numerology, on moonology, or whatever, or day, night, and what
Well,
what's
yeah.
important is their own way, own cycle. And it's so beautiful because you see the sparkle in their eyes, and yeah, they are enlightened, and yeah, it's really great.
Well, that's a good reminder because there is the universal energy, this being a 9 year for the collective, but
Yes,
all of us have our own individual numerology. We're all,
absolutely.
like you're also, I know, in a 9 year this year. I'm in a 6 year this year.
Yeah,
So, it's all different. And our numerology is different for everybody. Same, just
absolutely.
like astrology or human design or you name it. So we have to,
Yes,
in addition to the collective energy, we have to keep our own in there too. And that's
yes,
equally, if not
absolutely.
more important. Hmm.
I think it's more important to connect with our own energy, and then we can find a way to link and understand what the collective is living and why we are triggered this way and so on.
Yeah. Both
And
of us,
protect this energy.
yeah, both of us talk about energy and numerology and different things in our podcast
Yes,
just to give people like a heads up. When you're feeling funky, but if you aren't aware that it's something's happening with the planets or the numerology or something, a lot of times, because we're human, we internalize that there's something wrong with me, where
absolutely.
it could just be a really crazy planetary transit happening.
Absolutely. Back in on the 6th of January, it was not back to school, but back to work after the holidays. And until midday, I felt very good and good energy and, relaxed. Yes, happy to go back to work. And from midday to 6 in the evening, I was uncomfortable and shaky, and I feel pressure to do, and I felt pressure to do, and all stuff coming, and I was wondering, what is that? I don't want that. I said to myself, don't start like the year before, the previous year. So you're cool. You know what you have to do. And then I start talking and sharing my feelings with 2 or 3 people, and I realized that it's the collective energy that I was feeling, not mine. So I have to, take a break, breath,
Breath.
and you know, make the distanciation, the space between the collective and myself, and go back to myself, because being aligned with the collective always because of this similar energy, it's good when I have to share stuff because it's always resonating, but it's not me. So I think it's easier when you are in the 6 year and a 9, the collective is in the 9. I think it's easier to have those different part, but it's more difficult to feel the energy of the collective, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll
We'll
see. Yes,
see.
we'll see.
I'll be
Yeah.
the guinea pig and let you know. So,
Yes, absolutely.
well, I want to thank you so much for coming on here. We're at the very tip of the iceberg of talking about this stuff, but I wanted to have you on here to at least get the conversation started. Um, and I don't think that I've done that great of a job of highlighting how incredibly wonderful you are. But you have generously offered discounts for the audience, and I
Yes,
appreciate
absolutely.
that. And with the code Abundology, you could take 20% off your clarity and action, your numerology and strategy package. So you help businesses with their strategy based on the numerology. Hmm.
Yes, because I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years and I have a background in marketing and in accountability. And so accountability is not the same. Accounting. So I can, yes, I understand very well the business and I have this high vision and 360 vision, about the business and how they have to or how they can use their resources and I can give new perspective, which is mine as well. And so yes, and strategy, business strategy or marketing with numerology will give them a new way of being and supportive energy for this new kind of world we are living in. And we want to live in a different world and we want to live our business in a different way. So
Yeah.
let's start
And
doing it.
yeah, and in a 9 year, this is the time. This is the time it's up to focus on
Absolutely.
that and change. Yes.
Absolutely.
Also,
Change, test, and so on.
yeah. Also, you have offered 10% on your healing and mentoring sessions with the code Renee. I have to say, I like that. So there
Yes.
is a link to your website. I'll put it in the show notes. Also, a link to your Substack, which is fabulous, and your podcast. So I want you to know, don't be afraid about the English and French thing. Her website is both in English and French. And also, I know that you have the English subtitles on your podcast.
Absolutely.
So that's no big
And
deal. I mean, we got to get used to this, using different languages and connecting because we're all in this together.
yes, and but I'm used to because English is not my mother tongue. But for English people, maybe they are not used to use the subtitle and all those stuff. But I think it's part of the number 9 and this year.
We will be
And
open to it. Yes.
yes, and on Substack, I started as well a new podcast in English because it's a year to start new stuff or to test and to open. So and it helped me to heal perfectionism. So it's really great.
I like it. I like it. So all of those links will be in the show notes. And I want to thank you one more time, my friend, for coming on here and talking about numerology with me. I love it. I love it.
Thank you very much, Renee, for having me, inviting me, and all the help you provided me last year because yes, it helped me really, really a lot. And your cosmic clarity bundle, it's such a gift. And yes, you're really surrounded by such beautiful people and women and. Yes, and
Thank you, my
I,
friend.
I'm addicted to your podcast each Monday morning. So I start my week with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And I'll talk to you again on Sunday.